3 children of Indian Army personnel have written to the National Human Rights Commission asking it to protect the human rights of army men posted in Jammu and Kashmir. Preeti, Kajal and Vaibhav are children of 2 lieutenant colonels and a retired Naib Subedar, and they've said that the army officers serving in Jammu and Kashmir need their human rights protected. These rights, they say, are violated daily by stone pelters in Kashmir, and they've claimed that while the international body protects the human rights of citizens in disturbed areas, they're turning a blind eye towards the plight of army personnel who face a threat to their lives from stone pelters on a daily basis. They also pointed out that no FIR has been registered against stone pelters and only against soldiers who act in self-defense. They say that neither the state government nor the centre has done anything to protect the soldiers posted there. India's National Investigation Agency, or NIA, has said that stone pelting incidents in Jammu and Kashmir are part of a conspiracy by separatist leaders orchestrated with support and funding from Pakistan. And as you can see, stone pelting has been a persistent problem in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, where young people, a lot of them students, misguided youth, with funding and support from terror outfits across the border, have been targeting security forces. And some of these images on your screens of what transpires alarmingly frequently in Jammu and Kashmir. And this is what army men, policemen posted there have to face while safeguarding the security of citizens of the state. These are 3 children, 2 lieutenant colonels and 1 Naib Subedar. Their children have written to the National Human Rights Commission saying that no FIR has been filed against stone pelters, no action is taken neither by the state government nor by the centre to protect the human rights of the army men who, according to these children, are acting in self-defense most of the times. Remember, separatist leaders, aided and abetted, funded by individuals and outfits in Pakistan, have been fomenting trouble in the valley, and stone pelting is something that security forces have been dealing with for almost a decade now. There were instances in between when stone pelting happened to the extent, and schools had to be shut, colleges had to be shut, and Jammu and Kashmir has seen a lot of unrest because of these stone pelters. These 3 army children have now written to the NHRC, the National Human Rights Commission, saying that army men need to have their rights protected and state government and the centre should do something in this regard. And joining us now are 2 of the petitioners, Prabhav Singh and Preeti Gokhale. They're joining us from New Delhi. Good afternoon to both of you, Prabhav and Preeti. And let me begin by Preeti, with Preeti. Preeti, what inspired you to petition the NHRC?
So we are army kids, we are children of army officers, and that inevitably makes us a part of the armed forces, the family of the armed forces. And we have continuously been seen for a long time about such incidents of stone pelting and petrol bombs against the army. And the army in retaliation has been showing retaliation for self-defense. However, only a one-sided approach is taken to show concern for the human rights of the stone pelters. So we have filed this complaint to show concern and represent the human rights of the armed forces.
Right. Prabhav, what do you want the NHRC to do in concrete terms? When you say uphold the human rights of soldiers serving, what do you want the commission to do?
So basically the fact is that Jammu and Kashmir comes under AFSPA, that is the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Under this act, the armed forces have certain powers that allow it to use forces not limited to firing on citizens who disrupt the peace process in the valley. Now, what we want from the NHRC is that the FIR against the army should be withdrawn, and the FIR should be lodged against the stone pelters who disrupt the peace process in the valley, and the army's working in the valley should not be disrupted.
So filing an FIR, Prabhav, is the police's job, and that comes under the state government. Did you petition the state government at some point? Do you believe that the state government hasn't done enough to safeguard the rights of the soldiers there?
That is true, because the state government believes that the FIR should be lodged against the Indian army for retaliating in self-defense. Now we must see the fact that the army only retaliated in self-defense, and the mob tried to attack the army convoy. There was also a Havaldar who was hit in the head with a stone, and his weapon was unarmed. So it was necessary at that point to take measures against the mob, and that was what was done by the army. So I don't think that is wrong in any part, and considering the AFSPA Act, it was the only measure that they could take at that point of time.
Preeti, who did you consult with before filing this petition? And stone pelting has been a problem for almost a decade now. When you say that army men are affected, that their rights are not upheld, are you speaking from personal experience? Have you lived there? Have you seen someone close, including possibly your father, at the receiving end of what happens?
Being from an army background, I think at one point or the other, all army officers have been posted to Jammu and Kashmir. My dad has been posted there 4 times itself in the past, and today there are many others who are posted there, and like my father is my family, the armed forces is a family in itself, and for their rights, for their human rights, we have filed this complaint.
Prabhav, any response so far? You've also included the centre, saying both the state government and the centre at some level are guilty of dereliction of duty, not upholding the rights of the men who serve in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes, exactly. The point here is that the state government itself required the army to uphold the law and order situation in Jammu and Kashmir. The irony is here is that the same state government that asked the army for help to uphold law and order in Jammu and Kashmir is now against the army for doing the job that they were supposed to do. So that is the thing that's wrong here, and that is what needs to be corrected over here.
So basically you want an FIR to be filed, and you want people to understand that that these officers, that these personnel who are stationed there are often acting in self-defense.
Exactly.
All right, Prabhav and Preeti, thanks very much for joining us, and all the very best in the initiative that you have undertaken.